Hey guys, the fluidized sand filter is up and running. I allowed the PVC to dry overnight. We filled it up with the bypass coming from the water pump. It only took about a minute or so to fill the bucket all the way up. And as you can tell, I'm using 1/2-inch pipe and hosing going into the bucket and 1-inch coming out. The 1-inch pipe on the discharge side is actually dropping off into a basket that is suction cupped to the glass of the tank, and that holds a micron type fiber filter material with some lava rock just to break up some of the water flow. And I'm doing that just to ensure that no sand actually escapes the filter and winds up in the basket. I wasn't really sure exactly what the water flow was going to be like inside. So from there, it goes back into the sump and eventually into the main system. Sorry about the angle, but we'll get a better video once we finish with the lighting, which will be probably tomorrow. So once the sand filter starts to mature and the sand actually matures itself, it'll become a little heavier and the sand will settle more to the bottom. It'll be less prone to floating. Then we could probably go into it and add more sand to it. So right now I have 19 pounds of sand inside the bucket, which is probably a ton for a system with sump that is only 95 gallons. So it's only 95 gallons total water volume in this setup. The wet-dry filter seems to be working rather well. And one of the coolest things about adding the fluidized sand filter was I was able to bypass a lot of the water that was getting pushed up into the top tanks and flowing at a high rate. And I was able to bypass most of that water into the sand filter. So I was able to dial back the water going to the aquariums so I can lessen the amount of volume going through the trickle filter and increase the amount of volume going into the bucket, which is what I wanted and what you would naturally want to do with a sand filter. I'm only looking to turn over this system 5 times per hour or less with the wet-dry filter. But the sand filter portion, I haven't done the math on it, but as many times as I possibly can to get the sand moving is what I'm looking to do. Now, originally I was going to go with a T-fitting with 2 caps with 1 hole drilled directly in the center of each cap. But last night I decided to go with 1 pipe, 1 cap. And I don't believe it's enough surface area to move the sand inside the bucket. So what I'm going to do is go back to the T-fitting later on this evening when I get back from work and see if that turns more of the sand over that's along the side walls there and utilizes more of the sand for the filtration portion of it. But so far, so good. All the fittings are tight. Everything's flowing the way I want it. I have the ball valve turned completely wide open, so I'm bypassing a lot of water, and I was able to actually tune down some of the water coming out of the water pump to the top tanks. So far, so good. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. You can check the build video that was prior to this video. You'll see that in the list. I'll add this to the DIY portion of my videos. And very excited. This might be a little bit overkill for this setup, but hey, you can never have too much filtration. Too much flow, yes, but too much filtration, no. Thank you for watching. FunctionBuilt-Aquatics.